And we're back here once again with another episode of the Cloud9 podcast, season 14, episode 22. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And if you are watching and listening to this episode of the Cloud9 podcast, you probably did not get a chance to watch and listen to this episode of the Cloud9 podcast when it is live, and you probably are watching it on the replay, and you're probably watching it on the replay when it is Monday for you guys, when you guys start off your work week. And my advice to you guys is to just get a cup of coffee, drink it, and then try not to get super sad that your work week has just began. So in this episode of the Cloud9 podcast, we're going to be talking about the 2025 NBA playoffs beginning, and I'm also counting play-ins in that as well. I just count that as a postseason because, well, basically if you lose, you're out, and that's pretty much what a postseason is, basically. Then we'll be talking about the LTA 2025 America Stage Split 2. And then that's pretty much it. I'll be going over, a little bit of what happened with me when I went out to Vegas, obviously, during this past week. Was awesome. So that's the reason why we gave you guys the big episode basically last Sunday, was it Thursday? Yeah, the last episode you guys got. Basically, the reason why it was the bigger episode is because I knew we weren't going to have the episode on Thursday, so I wanted to make sure the last episode for you guys was pretty meaty and long, the way you guys like your meat down your throat. And with this episode concluding later on tonight, we will be going into the final episode of Season 14. We will be beginning Season 15 very, very soon, which is next Sunday. So next Sunday, we will be on the Cloud9 podcast's 15th season, my longest running show, my baby. It came out exactly the way I wanted to. It always started out exactly where I wanted it to be at and then ended where I wanted it to be at, talking to a black man from Connecticut every Sunday and Thursday. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. But nevertheless, joining me here in this episode of the Cloud9 podcast to talk about, the NBA and competitive League of Legends is Mr. Blanks. Because you know what happened, man? Last night when I was messaging this guy, dude, it basically went like this, everyone. I was literally going from watching NBA games because the playoffs basically fully kicked in outside of like the play-in stage. And then I was watching league games on top of that. So I went from basically like watching league best of threes to going back to an NBA game and all that stuff. I had to catch up on all the games that I left off at because when I left to go to Vegas on Wednesday, the play-in stage was pretty much almost over, and then I had to just pretty much watch the rest of the games that I left behind. So I'm essentially like 2 games behind from today, so I have to finish watching the Knicks versus Pistons. Then I have to watch the Pacers-Bucks game.
Nope, the Pacers-Bucks game, you don't need to watch that. That was an ass whooping as well.
And then today we had Cavaliers face Heat, and then we had Warriors face Rockets, and that's going on right now. The Rockets and the Warrior game is happening right now.
Heat with an ass whooping. Boston, that was an ass whooping. Was closer than it was. It was a lot closer than you think it was. And Memphis,
I bet this man Chaz is like, man, the Knicks over here popping off. Jalen Brunson, oh my God, that guy just put his whole cock on the basketball court, just put his whole fist in there.
No. That's what Thunder did today. They put their whole nuts. Oh, the craziest irony in the world. Dallas Mavericks got eliminated by Memphis, right?
Yep.
Apparently, they got eliminated 77 days after they traded Luka Doncic.
Okay. Now
it was Luka's number 70. I swear to God, this shit's scripted. This shit is scripted.
Orange Avenger, my new homie, my new brother from another mother. Okay, I was trying to sound black there. My new white friend. Been popping in the chats.
What's going on,
ever
everybody?
Since we did the Master Duel stream. Orange Avenger's been here. What's up, man? How are you doing, dude? Classic MSKL. You mean W? Hi Orange, let's jump this motherfucker. Yeah, there's some stories from Vegas that you guys are gonna hear about. They're too wild, let's just say that. But white girls do it the best. I'm still putting it out. White girls, Hispanic girls do it the best all the time. Yeah. Last Comic Fan, what's up, man? And as you guys know, me and Last Comic Fan, our show is on Wednesdays. We're essentially like what me and Monty and Thorin are for summoning insight. I'm like the analytical, crazy-brained, big professional. Last comic fan is usually just a raging white guy at me. So nothing. It's Easter. Oh yeah, it is Easter. Yeah, I mean, I'm not religious. I mean, it's if you guys are Christians, so happy Easter for all of you. Easter just means more work for me. It wasn't really that busy at work, honestly, given the fact it was Easter. It was steady. I'll say it wasn't really like getting fisted in the ass busy. Warriors are killing the Rockets 61-41 last time I was checking.
Just ass beating.
It started off close. I remember I was keeping up with the scoreboard and some of the highlights because I don't have NBA and TNT.
That's how the Lakers live. Timberwolves started off.
It started off even, a little even, yeah, and then just gap. I told people the Warriors are a strong team. Like, if they win this series, I'm not surprised. Like, the Warriors are definitely a strong team. Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green, definitely pretty strong of a trio right there.
Houston got a bunch of YNs.
I mean, this man Chad, he hates Houston. What did they do?
No. I don't hate Houston. I don't.
No. From the way you were yelling at Houston fans on the last show.
Why? Because all these Houston Rockets bandwagon ass niggas, it's like y'all wasn't there when Tracy McGrady was on the team. Y'all started liking the Rockets when it was James Harden. Y'all a bunch of bandwagon ass niggas. See, it was this one motherfucker, and I know he's probably lurking right now. I was like, you see, take this L down when the Rockets get beat by the Warriors again. Take this fat L. By the way, your other team Memphis, he finally blocked me on Twitter. It's like, your team from Memphis got their whole shit ripped open, and they got 51 to the.
But let's be honest here. We said this on the last show that a lot of these like playing teams facing like these number 1 and 2 seeds were gonna get. Guys, did anybody not expect the Celtics to fist the Magic? Did you see how bad the Magic were playing?
Yep.
That team literally. Remember, they were at one point like 29 and something. That team ended up 41-41. They beat the Hawks, but it's like we all expected them to do that. But we know when they face the Celtics, we're going to get absolutely just fucking fisted, completely destroyed.
Even though the Celtics started off slow, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because the Celtics is deep. The Celtics is deeper than the OKC and Memphis' ass today. Oh my god, it was
like, god damn. Like even in league, you had just a bunch of blowouts constantly from the games. But I do want to pick up where we last left off at. So where we last left off was that the play-ins hadn't even began yet before I went to Vegas. The week of me going to Vegas, the play-in stage had just began. And I'm going to have you talk about some of these games in just a moment here. I got to go just get a quick drink really quickly. But what is your quick thoughts on the play-ins before we start going over some of the games?
Okay. The plan, trying to see the first 2 games were the 7-8 seed. Memphis played Golden State a lot tougher than we saw, but Memphis always gonna play Golden State tough. But Memphis is a good team. Like when they decide to show the hell up, Golden State, they got clutch players on the team. They're gonna always win. Orlando. Over Atlanta ran out of gas. The funny thing about Atlanta is Atlanta at one point I think they could have got like top 6, but they started running out of gas.
Do they have the team with the lowest scoring average per quarter in the league? They said they were averaging like, I could be wrong, misquoting, but from what I heard when I was watching the game, they're like negatives on scoring. Like they don't barely score anything. They score like maybe 10 points a quarter. That's terrible. Who put a team together like that? They're barely scoring.
It's players outside of the starting 5. That's their bench. God, man. If it's not for the 5 starters, they're not getting it.
They apparently have the team with the lowest scoring average in the league per quarter. That's terrible. The whole league is based around making threes.
Yep.
How's that even possible? How is that even imaginable? That even is a conceivable thing.
Because they're dependent on one player.
Yeah, and when that one guy got fouled out, I remember in the it was a Magic game or the other one they played. He got
fouled out. It was a Magic game.
he tried to punk the ref with the ball and the ref,
after he punked one of the players, the ref there he gave it a tech, and then he said, "Fuck this." They was getting beat anyway. They was getting beat.
They were losing that game anyway. There was no chance for them to win. Yeah,
no, they was getting beat. And then Wednesday was the.
Let's bring it up here. So we're gonna go over all the playing games, and then we'll get to some of the ones that we watched. Oh my God, Clippers! How in the world do you throw that game one? I know James. Remember how James was literally on his knees gawking the Clippers? Remember on his knees taking James Harden's meat up his mouth. Oh my God!
I was going to get Gatsby earlier on Twitter. Thunder 4, yes. Cavs 5 more likely. I think Nuggets is 6. Bucks. I got Pacers at 6. I have no faith in the Bucks. Lakers at 5. Get off here to Sharp nuts. I said Lakers at 7. Knicks in 7. I got Knicks.
I'll make my Lakers determination after I see
Rockets at 5
game 2 and 3. Once I see game 2 and 3 out of this series, then I'll know if the Lakers are going to win. But game 1 last night, or not the day before, that was not convincing. That was a bad first showing. That was horrible. That was really awful, actually.
I got Golden State at 6, and I got Celtics at 4. Pretty much, we only agree on Thunder at 4, Cavs at 5, and Celtics at 4. Everything else, I'm either.
So we talked about Magic Hawks. So Magic won that. The Hawks for some the playing tournament's weird. You get basically double elimination if you're like an 8 seed. So they end up facing the Heat.
Pretty much, yeah. The 7-8 team, whoever lose, they get double elimination. Single elimination for the 9-10. If you're 9,
but if you're 9 and 10, you get single out. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So Hawks played the Heat, and my God, people forget the Heat went on a really impressive win streak toward the back end of the season for them, actually, and they beat the Bulls. My God, they embarrassed them. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, no, the
Bulls as we say here, no Jordan, no ring. That's it.
Yeah.
The Bulls have lost to the Heat in the playing tournament ever since 2022, 2023?
Yeah, 2021. I say.
Yep. Imagine that. That's the Bulls' resume. We had the Jordan legacy, we had the Derrick Rose period, and then we have the playing era where we constantly lose to Miami every single fucking year.
Yeah.
No Jordan, no title. And fuck off, Chicago. They're like, oh, we beat the Lakers 2-0 this season. Doesn't matter. Where'd that get you now?
Don't mean shit because you're nowhere near the playoffs. Even beat the 10th seed team who traded away their best player and beat your stupid ass.
So Heat clapped the Bulls, swept them up, mopped them up. Then the Heat obviously destroyed the Hawks. These were all pretty much blowout games, I'll be honest, from the Eastern Conference.
The Heat and Hawks were, yeah.
And then we have the West. So the closest game of the playing tournament, everyone knew was going to be Grizzlies versus Warriors. That was going to be the closest one. It was a very, very entertaining game from all the players across the board. I mean, Curry was doing some off-the-wall shots to keep this team in still. There was a good chance Memphis won this playing game and got to facing they would have actually moved on to face the Rockets. There's a good chance that happens, actually. But Warriors pulled it out. And then after that, the Mavericks ended up beating the Kings. I mean,
the Kings and Chicago Bulls are just the same team.
That's true.
Kings, they traded.
It feels like Kings and Bulls basically have like the same player. Does it feel like that to you? I feel like the players always do the same shit.
Don't forget they traded. The Kings traded for Zach LaVine this season. That's why they kept calling them the Sacramento Bulls, because it's just the same niggas. So think about it. You traded Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to Sacramento, and both of y'all ended in the 9th seed, and both of y'all got eliminated by the 10th seed teams that no one had faced in. Like, imagine getting beat by a team that traded away their star player because your team's even more shit. Sacramento's absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Not the players, but the goddamn ownership. Like the ownership garbage.
Oh yeah, a lot of these teams' ownerships, man, I don't know. It feels like what we talk about with league. It feels like some of these guys, I mean, they're obviously going to be in the league forever. It's just how the NBA works. But it feels like a lot of these guys are just basically like, oh, we're just putting up a team. Got 9th. Oh, we're out play-ins. That's fine. It's like, how many of the fans are okay with? I know the Magic fans were very, very unhappy with some of the shit that the coaching staff and all the people involved were doing earlier this season. My God, it's like some of the, I don't know, man. It feels like a lot of these people involved with some of these freaking orgs are just coasting, just getting a paycheck and just leaving, or getting at least not just players getting traded, just trying to basically put themselves in a position to either move up, like fail upwards, or just go somewhere else at this point. Like the Mavs. Talk about the Mavs. The Mavs season is over. Obviously, the Mavs came into the 2025 season with basically they signed Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson left the Warriors and his little dynasty over there to chase the greatness in Texas, because at the time the Mavericks had Kyrie Irving, they had Luka Doncic, and he went over there to be like this big three kind of thing. They didn't really play that many games together. They only played like 10, 12 some games together, right? Then injuries started happening. Then obviously you have one of the biggest, most random trades in NBA history. The Lakers trade Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, and they give us some first round draft picks with that too. Kyrie Irving tears his ACL, and then Anthony Davis is out most of the season because, he's just always prone to get injured, honestly. And then you just have Klay Thompson, and then you could tell he just pretty much lost all faith in them ever actually going far in the playoffs. Like, them making the playoffs was, I guess, kind of expected to a certain extent. They kind of limped their way into the play-in stage. They got here to the play-in stage. They beat the Kings, expected. We all thought that. And then they just got completely astro-fisted by Memphis. I mean, I don't even know what to say with Mavericks right now. I don't even know what to, I mean, you can't, I understand that you can't predict for injuries. That happens. That's very common in this. But now you're looking at that Luka trade and going, wow, that really, really screwed you over. But if you're also looking at it from a lopsided Laker point of view, the Lakers losing Anthony Davis, because he mostly played defense from what I remember, that was also bad for them too. The trade actually enhanced the Lakers, but it also hurt them in an area because Luka doesn't play defense. Anthony Davis for sure can play defense very, very well. He was the best player on the Mavericks when they lost to Memphis, and Klay Thompson just wasn't that guy, And that happens when you leave somewhere you've had a lot of success and you want to kind of get success somewhere else. Just didn't happen. Just didn't happen this year. And the Mavericks are out. Did you want to say anything about the Mavericks before we go on to the other games?
Nico Harris is going to have to live with that generational L. That's not a huge deal. That's a generational L. How
far is this L going down the throat? Adrian Achedic's fucking esophagus?
Let's put it this way. The L so far down her throat, she could pull it out of her ass. That's how far down her throat it is. It goes through the top and out the end. That's how bad this shit team was.
And there's really nothing Anthony Davis can do. He's not going to be the guy that could basically, I don't know, drop 50, 60 points in the game. He's on average, a 20, 30 guy, That's just not enough, honestly. And people said, well, they had Kyrie and Luka and Klay playing at the same time, it would have got better. I mean, would it have? I mean, the games we saw them together really wasn't that good, honestly. But keep in mind, that's only a 10, 15 game sample size anyway.
Exactly.
But I didn't really see the whole big super team thing that people were talking about for a narrative for the Mavericks going to the season. But yeah, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. But to be fair, if the trade did work out and the Mavericks got so much better, then we'd be looking at the trade going wow, that was actually really good in hindsight. It wasn't. It actually was just utterly terrible. It was really bad. So I did end up watching the Lakers' first game against the Timberwolves. Man, that was absolutely that was something. That was just a fisting.
Yep.
You know what's great? We have LeBron had a few good points, but you could just tell age is really starting to get to this guy. He cannot play defense anymore, guys. He's just he hasn't played defense like that in forever, honestly. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking 12 or 10, but yeah, because the games that I watched. The ones that I did of them together, it didn't really matter. It didn't look like this team was going to be taking over the league and getting Maverick a ring, honestly. Lakers are going for that first round. I mean, if you just went off of Friday or Saturday's game when they played their game one, oh my God, guys, they got destroyed. I'm not even trying to hype up Timberwolves, but they got actually destroyed. The only thing that was the highlight from that game was Luka making that buzzer beater shot off the glass. That's the only highlight from that game. And if that's the only highlight from a game, that team got feasted. Completely just actually destroyed. LeBron, and guess what? I can't believe we have LeBum James Jr. Yeah, because we'll sub that guy in. We have LeBum James, and we have LeBum James Jr. LeBron can only do that floater shot that Kobe used to do back in the day. It's all he can do off the one knee. I actually learned that from Kobe. I tried to do that when I was playing basketball. It's hard to do sometimes, but when you get it down, it's very good.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what LeBron's going to do. He's going to, turn around, backstep, floater. That's his whole game. That's his whole game. Literally, if you stop him from doing that, he can't do nothing. All he does is do that fadeaway floater shot. It's all he can do. Like, I mean, the whole team just fell apart last night. I mean, hopefully in game 2, I will say this. If they lose game 2 and 3, I'm being completely honest here, they're going out in the first round. This team has no confidence. It's all shot.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it out. LeBron can't hype up a team this way. He's not the guy to be like, oh, yeah, what's up, guys? We're down 0-3. We can do it. Nope. If LeBron starts talking to me like that, I know that shit's over. Like, unless the only way to regain confidence after that disgusting game 1 win is to win game 2. You win game 2, because I think it's the away game, right? Lakers are going to them for game 2, I think.
Yeah. No.
You win
no, game 2 is still in LA.
You win game 2, you get your hometown confidence back, you extend the series. They lose game 2 or 3, I'm highly doubting they actually make out the first round. And keep in mind, we were talking about the Lakers being frauds pretty much like every single time we had a show here. I mean, it looked pretty jank in a lot of those games. I get it. They had 50 wins in the regular season. I get it. But a lot of those wins were we were watching the back half of these Laker games toward the very end of the season. Some of those games were like absolute cinema and where they should have lost a lot of those games too. Come on. One of the games against the Pacers, because Lakers were on a losing streak, LeBron had to tip the ball in order for them to win a game. Like, we were getting some wild games with these guys. So this is the team, like I said, where basically they could have a magical playoff run where they get to the finals or even the Western Conference, or they could just go out in the first round. There's no variance. Either they make it all the way or they're out, or at least round 2, because no way they're beating Rockets or the fucking Warriors. They're not beating anyone up here. I mean, the Clippers will beat them. The Nuggets will for sure beat them. Maybe not Memphis, because Memphis is terrible. OKC probably will still give them a run for their money. That game 1 was, woo! Man, was that some trash.
Ass whooping. The ass whooping.
If your best highlight is Luka doing a half court off the glass shot, all right, we can wrap it up here. We can just go home. It's okay. We had a bad night. I did end up watching the best game from the first games. Oh my, Clippers versus Nuggets. Man, that was so exciting. And only exciting because the Clippers just decided to just choke away game 1. So many turnovers. They had so many passes where they easily could have had the lead, but they kept giving away. So they kept having like the ball being given away from them constantly. I swear, like, watching the game, there was like 3 moments in the game between the first 4 quarters where literally if they hadn't basically thrown it to the player on the opposite team, they could have been up. They were up by like 13, 14 constantly. Like, this is the Clippers. People knew this was going to be a very, very close series. People knew it could basically go either way. You could easily see a series where Clippers are ahead of them. They just choke away game 1. Russell Westbrook is like, oh, fuck all right. Oh, you didn't do shit. The Clippers choked that game away, and you know that, you dirty, stinking ape. You bald-headed monkey. Oh, my God. Oh, you're so lucky you have Jokic on your team, you disgusting animal. Oh, my God. This man, Russell Westbrook, thinks he's all that because he made some clutch layouts when fucking someone else didn't make the shot. Get the fuck out of you, dirty, stinking ape. Oh, my God, man. Clippers, oh, my goodness. How the fuck do you throw that game? Oh, my God. James's mouth is so far down fucking James Harden's cock. His eyes aren't straight. Like, God damn. Holy shit. That was a disgusting, disgusting throw from the Clippers. But I do see them potentially beating the Nuggets. If they're going to do it, I'd imagine it's going to be a full 7-game series, actually. All right. I didn't get a chance to see the full game between OKC and Memphis. I do want to see the stomp fully. I only got a chance to see like the first 5 minutes. I had to go back to work.
You don't need the first 5 minutes was the only good part. Like, even after the first quarter, it was 32-20.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then Memphis decided not to score. It was 32-20, and then OKC started hitting shots. Memphis they were there. Then I don't know what the fuck happened. Memphis, 1 point couldn't find a basket. If they tried, OKC was just hitting every goddamn shot. And next thing you know, it was 68-36. He was like, God damn, what the fuck? Like, Memphis couldn't score it. Memphis couldn't buy a basket.
Dude, I fully understand that. Like, teams will have bad games, and there's this usual thing in the NBA when playoffs happen where the team that you think is going to win loses game one to maybe only sometimes win the series. I understand that, but it's like, so like that is a very concerning game if you're a Laker fan. Like, I'm just sorry. If someone watched that game and went, damn, I really see the Lakers winning that, you would have to have so much LeBron copium up your ass, your eyes will be coming out like the fucking mask guy in that Mask movie, Jim Carrey's Mask movie, where his eyes were fucking popping out of his sockets. Like, yikes. All right, so Eastern Conference. The one game that I did end up seeing the most of was the Knicks versus Piston game. I mean, pretty much everyone could predict the Knicks are going to beat the Pistons. That, oh my God, 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Jesus Christ.
That 21-0 run.
How does that even happen? Where you don't score at all? How does that happen?
Fast breaks, teams out here, bad shot selection. Yeah, oh my God. Detroit fell asleep on defense. Them motherfuckers couldn't stop a nosebleed. And then they was out here doing the goofiest turnovers. Motherfuckers was just, I was like, what the fuck? Motherfuckers, oh my God. Some of these, like I said, the experience, like the goofiest of turnovers. Just, my goodness, just what the hell? Just the goofiest of turnovers. And you're like, okay, and then next, next went from being down 8 to up 13, and Detroit, they cut it back down to 7 or 6, and then Detroit fell asleep again. They said, oh, we're down by 6, we're close. Nope, Jalen Brunson. When Cameron Payne was busting niggas' ass, I was like, oh yeah, nah, nope, you're done. You're cooked. Ron Holland could have hit a goddamn open shot if he tried. The Knicks were lax on defense, and these motherfuckers couldn't buy a basket. They was just
any other game you said was worth watching. Did you watch the Cavaliers Heat?
Ass whipping too. The only two games that were close were the only two series that were close was Denver Clipper and Knicks. The Knicks winning by 11 is close compared to some of these other games. Miami had it close in the first half, and then Cleveland ran away. Same thing with Boston. Orlando was up at the half by like 1 at the half, and then Orlando just forgot how to play basketball. I don't know what Orlando was doing. They probably got a little too high today. Forgot it was 420. Or they forgot they had a basketball game, probably smoked some, and then boom, they forgot how to play basketball.
Because there was one thing about the Heat when I was looking at their social media, and I get why their hashtag is white hot. Wouldn't it make more sense if their hashtag were red hot? Wouldn't that make more sense because their logo was red? I was always, why is their hashtag
white heat? White heat hotter than red heat and red heat.
Yeah, no, I got that. I just thought it was a little weird. I was like, shouldn't your hashtag be red hot? It's like
red hot makes more sense, but white heat is actually hotter. It's white flames or whatever they call it, white blue flames.
Wait, dude, would Pokemon? No, that would be Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh would be giving out Switch 2s.
For the new Pokemon game, maybe I might. I'm not 100% sure. If I do get a Switch 2, I'm getting the new Pokemon game and the new Mario Kart game. Yeah, the one that's where you can literally just race everywhere. You can make your own tracks. I'm like, hell yeah. Overall, it was a lot of belted ass. A lot of belted ass, just a lot of butt fuckers, just a lot of butt fuckers, just assholes, just ripped open, just gate, just put old fist in the booty ass bitches. Some of these motherfucking teams was getting these shit clapped, just cheeks clapped, bent over.
Oh, you gotta love it when Kawhi Leonard is the reason why the Clippers ended up losing that last chance to throw the ball in to score points. Yeah, it swatted out of his hand. Oh my God, man! Kawhi, can you turn your brain on? Like, can it work? God, man. Holy. All right. So what other games is there to watch tonight? So are you excited for the playoffs for the NBA? You having some fun watching the games at least though?
Oh, besides the Knicks,
God.
if most of the teams keep getting blown out, I ain't gonna be excited because I was like, I tuned in
Keep in mind, these are just
midway.
game ones of these series too. These are just
Yeah,
game ones.
I tuned in. I tuned in for the OKC game.
Oh
so
yeah,
it was like 70 to 40.
yeah. Because
I'm
people
good.
have to understand the reason why you tune into one of those games for the OKC, even though you're not their fan potentially, because you want to see like, okay, are they going to translate the regular season to playoffs? It's going to be pretty dominant. It's looking like that's going to be the case at least in this series.
I mean, I told you. You remember when you talk about Memphis, talk about Zach Edey, way too goddamn slow. He was good.
What was that player you were talking about? You said he scored nothing.
Oh
my God.
Kyle Kuzma, 0.0 fucking rebounds. 20. You use the starter 22 minutes, 0.0 rebounds. Me.
I know when I play basketball, I got rebounds. If you can't get rebounds, that means you are legitimately not playing the game.
This nigga had no impact on the game. Bronny James would have gave a cool 5 points. Bronny James would have came off the bench, gave him a 3-point, and he would have played defense. Kyle Kuzma can't even play defense anymore. Y'all traded your second best player on the team for this motherfucker? Okay. Giannis is definitely leaving Milwaukee. He's definitely leaving. If I'm honest, I'm leaving Milwaukee first minute I can. This team's so dog water.
Michael said, I'll get a Switch 2 when the Pokemon Edition drops. They might do one for the Switch 2. Also, keep in mind, guys, when it comes to the Switch, there's going to be a Switch 2 Lite. There's going to be a Switch 2 OLED, like it happened with the Switch. Yeah. And the Switch's lifespan was for, like 8 years? The next Switch or Nintendo console is not going to come out until 2033. So this console will be out for a very, 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 very long time. And keep in mind, with the current Switch you have right now, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible. So you can play all your Switch games on a Switch 2. Am I going to get a Switch 2? I know for sure I will. I just don't know when I'll get one. If that makes sense, you know? I might end up trading in my Switch OLED to get it, but then again, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But yeah, if you guys are Warrior fans, you know, Dub Nation, because Stephen Curry just proving why he's one of the best players still in the NBA by a consistent long shot. Good Lord, did that team just enable that guy to do everything? This guy's still doing this amount of crazy fucking plays at his age is actually just insane. Good Lord. All right, so League of Legends stuff. All right, golly. DSG. Oh, no.
I want DSG to do good, but my God, they're getting clapped. They're getting
just to put up some context here, the LTA is having a super week coming up. And even though the joke right there is the LTA is super weak, I know the joke, obviously. They're going to be playing games on Monday, tomorrow, obviously, after the show is aired live, right? And DSG is contesting to have one of the worst records in LCS LTA history by winning no games in the regular season. I think the only worst records would be like fucking like Echo Fox, some splits, Dignitas and some splits, like really, really bad teams. You guys remember, like there was one 10th place team that wasn't really like a 10th place team, and that was Team Envious, like Team Envy way back in the day, you know. But most of the time, if you're a 10th place team, you're pretty bad, honestly. And this is one of the worst last place teams we've had in a very, very, very long time. Like people thought getting rid of Immortals would kind of like, oh, you just put someone in there that are going to be more competitive. And it's like, you know, given, you know, League of Legends and its current system, just because you replace someone doesn't mean the replacement's going to be better. There's no actual real logic behind that. You would just think like, oh, if I replace an actual complete piece of shit and I get something new, well, that doesn't automatically mean you'll get something better, because what were we told? We were told that Toast was someone that understood like how business works because he was a famous streamer. I don't know how that logic even worked to the point where like he could essentially run like an esports team. Like I don't know how these narratives work. I don't get how that even makes sense to people. And then their team, we even said their team was going to be bad because if you look at the construction of their roster, it's awful. Like Castle is a weak side, strong side, kind of maybe sort of carry. He still really has never kind of figured out his role in the game.
Yeah.
What's their jungler name? Zayu. Guys, Dig got rid of Zayu, and it's one thing that people always do, where they do that thing where they go like, well, I know this org dropped this player. Well, I'm going to go grab him, and I'm going to show the league why they should not have dropped this guy. You know, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But in this case, Dignitas, you can kind of see, had every real reason to get rid of Zayu for Spica, because they thought that Spica would have a higher impact in seeding on the games than Zayu did. Spica did not. Spica ran it out completely bad, and he was pretty terrible. But they'd rather take Spica, who hadn't been playing like competitive League of Legends on stage outside of like just playing solo queue for a while at that point. Like Zayu isn't good. I understood why Dignitas got rid of him. There's no ceiling to Zayu. He's just not a good player. And then they got who's their main laner? Abadage. Like he essentially, you know, he had no offers in the LEC. Maybe because he was asking for too much money. I don't really know what he was worth too much. Asking for.
Even if he wasn't asking for money, he was just worth too much. He had too much value. It's like, oh shit.
That resume he has would probably command quite a bit of money. I don't know if it was a mess up on agent point of view or negotiations, but he somehow ended up on DSG. We knew he'd be the best player on DSG, but you can just see he can't make anything happen in the games. Like this guy is making such desperate plays in these games to keep this team alive. If you guys saw, watch the game against Shuffle Rebellion. Watch it in the team fight when he does this Rise Realm Warp play. You could tell it was so desperate for him to try to get anything started in this game, to the point where like he is literally on desperate mode to try to get a win on the board. And then you have Scary Jerry, who is from the Academy system. I don't know which team he was on in Academy. I don't even know if he was dominating Academy. I don't know.
He was well regarded, but I forgot what team he was on. He was well regarded.
Like, who's been watching NACL? Like, no one really watches that shit.
I haven't watched him in like 2 years.
About
a year and a half.
I haven't kept up with like the Challenger League and like League of Legends in a very long time. Like I pretty much stepped out of checking the data out a while ago. Unless I'm really, really bored, I got nothing else to watch, I might maybe sort of check that out. But Scary Jerry it's one of those things where, you know, a player like him might do well in the Challenger League or the Academy system.
He was
just not able to impact any game. Like even when he's playing a champion like Misfortune, he can't carry the game. Like he can't, even when he gets kills, he gets resources, he gets things fed to him. He is just not the guy, or at least right now, to put his team into a position where they can win. Him with 3 kills is like nothing, honestly. He doesn't go ahead.
He was on CZG Corp Glorp. That was they're no longer an org, as well as Dragon Steel. They're no longer an org. He had Team Ambition. He had a bunch of like small contracts. His last big. He started in 2021 on Converse University, and then they went on Cliff. They're no longer a thing.
Oh, so he was basically brought up from the universities. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, and then he was on Maryville University. That's
like the biggest one. It's Maryville. Yeah. Okay. So you had Scary Jerry come up. He's not good, and this is why I always tell people like, there's a reason why some of these players in the NACL don't get shots at being a part of like the LCS and LTA, because to be honest, they're not good. And I understand you would probably rather take a risk on a Korean import or an import of some kind than picking up a player here, because what are you picking up a player here for if you're going to get an absolutely terrible player like that? What you get? Oh, but we have him because we want to just show that we pride ourselves on having good native talent. Like there's no native talent really here,
because Gary is part of that dominant team with APA on Maryville back in 2022. That's why APA got the look. That's why I was like, okay, when APA didn't have an ego, that's why I knew his ego had to come from, because he went to Team Liquid Academy for a month, 10 days. he was there, and then he got brought up to the challengers, and then in January, TL doesn't have challengers anymore or academy. They got rid of all that, and then he got brought up.
Yeah,
that's why Team Liquid so I want to keep him because he's been there since.
Was he? You said he was on Team Liquid's academy team.
Yeah, academy and challenger.
There was no way they were ever having the idea that he could ever come up and replace Jan. That idea never happened. He knew he had to leave. Like,
APA. No. Scary Jerry was never on Team Liquid. He played on with APA.
He was the team that APA came up. Oh, okay.
No. Scary Jerry was stuck, and he was stuck on him. Because he joined halfway through 2022. He played that dominant summer year with APA.
Okay.
Before because he joined 2022, or he joined June of 2022, right toward that tail end of that dominant year Maryville had with some APA before APA got brought up to Team Liquid, and then he was on Maryville for 2.5 years. He was up there to 2024, and then he was also on Team Ambition. It was like one of those things where it was like Team Ambition was like this team that was supposed to be doing something. Like Castle was the assistant coach. They really didn't go anywhere. They had Levitate. They had a bunch of players.
But as we can see from Scary Jerry's play, it's like, if I was in that coaching position, I'll be honest here with you, anyone who's going to listen to the show, I would have just picked an import. Because keep in mind, what would you rather have? A competitive team? Because, people shouldn't just be picking up players because of this homegrown aspect, unless they're deserving of a spot where you can actually justify them being here. Like, an import should be good no matter what, because an import is something that you're utilizing to make your team better. But if you're going to use basically homegrown talent from your own region, at least give a player a chance that can, give you something that is going to make your team better. Scary Jerry does not do that. Like, he's just not a good player. I would just pick a random Korean import ADC or something, because that can't be anything worse than what he's pulling off. There's no way any random Korean import AC would run it down as hard as he does.
You know why? Because Toast was trying to be cheap. That's why he used one of his imports on Abadage.
He's probably the highest paid player on the team by far.
Yeah, and then Toast was trying to keep a certain budget. That's why he didn't want to really go after any.
Who he probably wasn't going to cost that much money, given the fact that NRG terminated all their player contracts and he was a free agent anyway. And who his contract can't be all that much. I mean, I wouldn't be offering him all that much money. You'd be my lowest paid player. And then you have a player who literally did not have a good 2024 with FBI and NRG, to the point where I was so surprised he got a team. Like, he legitimately ran it down last year. I was like, what is this guy? Why is this guy signed? This makes no sense. That makes absolutely zero sense why this guy is signed at all. Like, they have the worst constructed team in the league. Like, even worse than Shopify, worse than Dig. Who's the carry on DSG? All their players are essentially role players. Like, Abadage can carry games, but he needs another guy with him to usually kind of motivate him and activate him on the map. The players that really always activate him on the map are the players that you guys saw him win with mostly.
Yeah,
there's no one here is to activate this guy. Who activates Abadage? Zayu? That guy is terrible. That guy can't even path in a jungle correctly.
Yep. And the sad thing about Scary Jerry, he's pretty much another Meech for last year. He has all the talent, but he doesn't have the gravitas to want to make plays. That's why he's so timid. Like, Meech worked well next to who's the big boy? Who's the big boy support? The one with the beard. That was on Shopify last year. Who's the big dude? Okay.
What happened? Big dude.
Who's this big dude support with the beard and glasses?
Zazel.
Yeah, Zazel. He was good with Meech was good with Zazel. Scary Jerry, like Scary. I mean, who he should be making Scary Jerry work, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Like, it's just a construction of their roster. Like, who's their carry? They have no carries on their team. They have just 5 role players and some of the worst players at their roles too. Like, there's no way he could ever, like, just judging off of their synergy. He doesn't even really have synergy with Scary Jerry, and I know that takes time to build, but just looking at the games they've played, doesn't really look like that's going to be going anywhere. Zayu is just not even a good NA jungler at all. Like, literally what Toast should do moving to next split, because let's be honest, they're not winning a title. They're not winning any title this year.
Sell the team.
You could sell the team. You could. But if you want to make and salvage your year, what he needs to do is you might as well just tear apart the entire team, start it from scratch going into summer. You're going to be on the back foot most of the year, given the fact that other teams have already been developing their synergy and getting things together, at least the top 4 teams, not the bottom 4. That doesn't matter, obviously. Like, well, the team needs to be constructed in a way where you have a carry and every player on the team activates said carry, like the way EG used to play with Jojo Peon when they had that dog shit top laner Revenge. Because if it does not happen that way, they're going to look bad again for summer. Because keep in mind, it's even worse for them in summer, because the summer split is the one where the best teams get to pick who fucking they face in the week. And everyone's going to want their shot at facing DSG with this roster. There's no way they're scrimming and going like, damn, this is a team that we need to still keep playing with moving on for the rest of the year. There's no way. This is going to go the way of Carmine Corp did last year. There's going to be roster changes. This team's going 0-7. That's going to happen. This is how you know the LTA format is so trash. Like, a team this bad is going to go 0-7 and make playoffs and go like 0-6 or 0-3 or whatever. Like, the bottom teams get eliminated. Like, they're going to go like 0-4 because you play 2 best of 3s, right? And you're out. Yep. Or you play best of 5s. Let's say best of 5s. So this team, I don't see a world they win a single game in best of series. They're going to go 0-6 drop, because I'm pretty sure it's double elimination. 0-6 drop. They're going to get the fuck out. They're going to be just chilling it until summer split happens. Like, damn, what an actual terrible team. They do nothing in game but just kind of waltz around, standing around, doing nothing. This is how their games go. Either they actually try to play the game when it's terrible, or they just do nothing in game and then just play to lose. That game against Cloud9, all they did was just play to lose constantly. Yep. All they did was just play to lose that entire week. 100 Thieves were completely disrespecting them. Not even people like, but they should. It didn't matter what they did. It didn't matter. They weren't losing that game ever. They Sniper guys was 6-0 on NAR. You know, like unusual that is for a player to play NAR and go 6-0. Pretty hard for most of that, because NAR is a champion where you have to constantly, jump in, you mega NAR and you ult and everything. Like, bro, this team is trash, guys. I'm sorry, Toast. You don't know how to build a League of Legends team. You need to hire someone that is at least somewhat competent and somewhat knowledgeable in how to build a roster. Abadage is probably going back to Europe after this is over, because there's no way that
either that or he's gonna retire.
Like, good gore. Abadage, I see just leaving. Castle's probably staying. He's got nowhere to go, honestly. Zayu, he shouldn't have a team anywhere ever again. He's just not good. This guy is just bad. This guy's just actually awful at the game. Like, if you got kicked from Dignitas, your shit was trash. And then this is his last year playing, because there should be no other team in this league that will give this guy a chance after how bad this year is gone and how bad last year went for him as well. Scary Jerry, well, this is his only shot, because if you pick up that guy, I guarantee you Dignitas are going to be an org. We can reform him. We can reform him. We can do it. No, you can't. You can't reform a player like that. He's bad, actually. But that's it on DSG. I mean, we had that game against 100 Thieves and Dig where, like, 100 Thieves pretty much should have lost that game. They didn't, because Dignitas is also terrible. They're just actually garbage at the game. They can't win shit either. The only game Dig could win was just beating the team that is just objectively worse than them. That's their only win so far. No one beats Dig 6 games in a row. They lost to every team but the team that was, like, objectively worse than them. And I even like using that word objectively a lot. DSG is actually the worst team, and that's the only team Dig could beat. That's it. That's how you know their team is bad. Like Dig, oh my God, they're just. If Dig can't win that game against 100 Thieves, there's no shot this org ever does anything. This is the org that is straight up coasting in the league. This Oregon got shit. You know what's crazy about the LTA, dude? When we were watching these games, did you hear any people from the crowd?
No, not really.
Is the league this dead where there's no crowd anymore? At least there'd be a crowd.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good question. I didn't really hear anything.
Usually hear like some cheers, something going on.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear. I mean, unless they sold the tickets so late that no one knew it was, because you know how like sometimes they put the LCS LTA in that closet that they play in. Like we don't know if the LTA is going to be in this weird closet room or is going to be on stage. Like God damn. But we do have one more day of gameplay. Oh, most of these games were stomps, if we're gonna be honest here. Like FlyQuest fisted Lyon Gaming. A lot of people thought Lyon were this like sleeper dark horse team. Keep in mind they had a easy strength of schedule, so it looked like that they were going to be one of these like teams where okay, they could maybe challenge the top 4. They got pretty rolled in some of these games actually. Like the one against Team Liquid was kind of should have went their way, but it didn't. You know, so this is what the standings look like now. And we have one more day of games coming up now. Cloud9 is first because they have the head-to-head over FlyQuest. FlyQuest for undefeated going into this week. FlyQuest did look like the best team of the league if you would go off of just the previous games, but they've lost to Cloud9 every single time FlyQuest is like considered the best team. They've lost to Cloud9 this year every time. Last split, this one, 100 Thieves having this team easily could be like 3-3. Just being completely honest here, this team could be 3-3.
Could be 5-1.
Yeah, that's because like that game against Team Liquid they played very winnable, very winnable. They've had games where they should be 5-1.
They threw that shit right out the window. They had to win, and
they're like, all right, we're winning. Goodbye.
You saw Windows throw a W out and pick up the L. That's what team one of the C's did. They saw the Windows, pick the W, and threw it right out. So 100 C's could easily be 3-3. They can easily be 5-1. Just think about that. Like,
they've had some of the most weirdest, sloppiest games, or they've had some of the cleanest. I don't get this team. Literally, this team has. I think this team is the best team in the league at team fighting. I will always give them that. They have very good team fighting. I don't know how Golden Glue got them to play that way, but he did. So my master had them get good. Ayla is such a paycheck stealer. How is this guy still in the league? Can this guy leave?
He's better than LeBron. We're gonna talk about G2.
LeBron James Jr. bum. Senior.
LeBron. Yeah, LeBron. Oh, LeBron James. Oh my God. Come on. That. Yeah, no.
Good job,
Your take about him is looking better and better each week. Holy shit! Because remember, you and I said he wasn't better than Mickey X. We both said that, but we said he's not going to be an improvement, but he's not too much of a downgrade. I don't know about that.
Were we wrong?
No. We were right about him. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we didn't realize how much. When we get to Thursday, but no.
Because I saw like highlights of the game. Oh my God, LeBron, you need. Oh my fucking word, dude.
Yep. Him and I don't know. BB might have been drunk, but no. 100 C's. 100 C's easily one of the best fighting team in LTA. Also,
Nefiri is that her name? Rafiki?
Yeah.
That dog. What's the dog? Nefiri, right? That's just the name.
Yep.
Oh my God, what a broken champion. I remember the game they were played today. They played up against Lyon, I think. Or it was one team I was watching where the Azir ulted the Nefiri backwards, and then the W made her untargetable, where she just kind of just walked out. Good job, Riot. This company just don't know how to. Who made that? The W just makes you untargetable from every ability. Oh, jeez. But yeah, 100 Thieves, they've had a weird kind of split. It's just been very dicey. I'll just say that. And then Team Liquid, I mean, we heard rumors that they were basically trying to, like scrim with different players because the mindset was everyone's replaceable. Spawn said that on I Will Dominate Show the Sack Down that he does with Yamato Cannon.
Yeah.
But we've never even heard about which players they were scrimming with or that the players that they tried to sub into scrim with. We just know that they tried scrimming with different players. Team Liquid's had some games where they should easily be considered like a 3-3 team or 2-4 team. I think the saving grace of their team is their bot lane. Like APA's had a pretty awful regular season so far. He's just not good. That's just go without saying. Impact just is there. I mean, we said this last split. I mean, maybe it changes. I don't see a world Team Liquid wins the playoffs. I don't see a world where that happens, but I could be wrong. Lyon Gaming is like, this is a team that, in theory, if they had all their players firing on all cylinders, you could consider this team a dark horse team. There is good here.
If they had a better support.
They need a better support player, yeah, because that guy is running it. Like, the mid laner is good. Henna is good. Audilan is okay. Licorice is, well, he exists, obviously. Like, they have this weird team where you wouldn't think it could work, but it could work. They just really have no exact, like, strong mega carry player to the point where, like, it makes a big difference, honestly. Starfire Rebellion is just a bad team. Their only wins kind of came from other teams objectively worse than them.
Yep.
They're a badly constructed roster, too. And Dig and DSG are just, well, you wipe your ass with them, honestly. So these are the remaining opponents for all of them. Cloud9 faces Lyon. They beat Lyon. They'll be 6-1. FlyQuest and Cloud9, they're going to go 6. They're going to be 6-1. This could have been the first split or the first season where a team could have been undefeated. FlyQuest, all you had to do was beat Cloud9, but you didn't because you got fisted. Oh, that game today. Whippo got his ass handed to him. Oh my God, that game. That game broke my soul watching that live.
I was surprised Cloud9 lost that one.
During that Baron call they made, but they're like, go start Baron, and then FBI just walks up and just snipes out the Loki.
Yep.
I'll say Loki has played a pretty good season so far. Hopefully it just continues, I'll say. Thanatos has played a pretty good season so far. So Disguise plays Team Liquid and Dignitas plays FlyQuest. So Dig is going 1-6 and Disguise is going 0-7, not drop. I'm not shitting you guys. This is a format. This would never be a thing in the NBA nor in the NFL. This is such a horrible fucking format where teams this awful that we've spoken about, they don't get punished for having a bad regular season because the punishment for a bad regular season is you're out. That's your you're gone. You're getting the fuck out. And if you do good in the regular season in esports, typically if it's like League of Legends, if you're first or second, you get the first round buys. Good regular season, you can take a week off. You can like prep for playoffs actually. Not here. You can go 0-7, you can go 1-6, and you're still in. Whoever made that decision need to be fired. You are a retard. 100 Thieves' last opponent is Chef Rebellion, so they'll end the split 5-2.
Yep.
So yeah, these are the games tomorrow. So yeah, dibs on Singed. Fuck your meta. Yeah, sometimes Singed is played. Very, very rare, but in some cases he could work, actually. What Zayu could do is play Rammus, because he needs to actually can play a jungler where he can effectively make the game not feel unplayable, actually. Oh, so Chaz want to talk about T1 as well. So, their struggles just keep continuing. Oh, my God. I mean, let's start with this. They ended up losing to, what's the team? Fear-X, right?
Fear-X, yep.
Jeez, man.
They swapped out Smash game after game 2, but Aguma game 3.
Oh, what? God. You can tell there's so much pressure on Gumayusi to perform, because remember how it was game 1, remember, where he was getting ganked and he kind of mistimed that Alistar was going to have the flash and he died. You can tell he is under so much pressure when he dies because he knows he is the instant scapegoat for a loss in their games. Whenever he dies, just watch his player cam. He knows that if he dies in an unconventional manner or he plays out a 2v2, very bad with Carrier, he knows the coaches are putting in Smash.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying
this is the coach's fault. You should have just stuck with Smash for Game 3. And this is why Joe Marsh right now needs to make a decision. Let this coaching staff go, or you just tell them they have to choose one and the other one has to go. If you're okay with them choosing Guma and Guma walking, unless you're okay with a 6-man roster. But honestly, right now, the coaches have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, there's too much egos there. Like, Koma and Mata on a coaching staff is just never going to work. Like, as you guys know, Mata, pretty household name in League of Legends, legendary support, won Worlds.
Who was the coach that got him to World of 2023? He's on another team now, right?
2023. Was that Koma? No, it was a different guy.
Koma was 2024.
Tom was there in 2023. Yeah, because Bengi, the moment Faker's wrist started hurting and he was out for most of the regular season, Bengi was like, yeah, that's the time to completely leave the org. What a fucking pussy ass bitch. At their complete lowest, he was like, yeah, just time to leave.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Fucking pussy. Just tell his ass out of there. So Koma came back for 2024, and Koma won with them. Mata, remember, was on Gen G. Mata was Gen G's head coach at the time.
Okay. Yeah, because right now what they're doing, they're going with the 6-man roster.
Yeah.
They're gone. It was.
And then, come to find out, dude, Zeus could have been here. All he was asking for was just, hey, I don't need more money because the money they offered was bullshit considering the fact that he got them 2 worlds. He just said, I just want another year. Guys, we were gaslit the entire offseason to believe that the only reason why he's not here is because Hololive offered more money. He wanted to be on T1. He just asked them, can I just have an extra year here? They're like, no. So they kicked the best top laner in the world because he wanted to play in their org longer. Whoever made that decision, I need you to be out. That's fired. I'm sorry. Guys, these T1's contesting for 5th. That's not good. This org's won world multiple times. That's not acceptable. Whoever made that decision, I need you gone. I don't care if it's Koma. I don't care if it's Mata. I don't care if it's Tom. I don't care if it's Joe Marsh. If this guy's like, I want to play here. I like being here. Can I just have one more year here? Even though the contract they were giving him was bullshit. People say, but they just offered him less money. Why is he offered less money if he's, first of all, the best top player in the world? He gave them 2 world championships and a world's finals too. And he played well at the other international events where they don't have as much impact on T1's legacy if you win, but he still played well.
Okay. Yeah, Bang's a streamer. Tom's still a coach on there. He's just not the head
he's still
coach.
Yeah. Tom's
I would fire Cole and put Tom back as coach. That's my.
I mean, he was the coach remember when Gen G beat them in that Worlds, the play, like the what's it called, the Switch stage? Remember how like Gen G beat them in that one game and they switched their whole play style back to what they were good at and they just won the whole thing.
Yeah,
they didn't have Coma when that happened. To be fair, they had Coma when they won last year's World. I mean, I would just go with 2 people. Mata. If you people know about Mata has such a strong.
You got 3 coaches. You got Coma, Mata, and Tom.
And Mata has such a strong sense of how he wants the game to be played. That's not going to go well with Coma. It just won't. Who else do you guys believe has a strong sense of how the game wants to be played? Coma does. Tom's a timid guy. Tom's not the guy to walk in there and be like, Faker, I need you to make the team better. He's not the guy. He's not that guy.
Shit, Faker is part owner. Okay, that makes sense.
He has equity in the company.
Yeah,
he's got that equity deal.
It doesn't even it says current organization Faker part owner. That's all it says. It's like
so if you have equity in a company, does that make you part owner essentially?
Yeah.
So okay.
Part owner mean you have some percentage. Part owner can mean 2%. You're still a part owner because you probably don't have any say in decisions, like business decisions. Maybe they might be like, hey, Faker, is there someone that you want to play with or someone you don't want on the team? And then they'll listen to his advice. that's what part owner means. Part owner means you got like stake. That means like when what was it? Like you get money from not investing stock market. Yeah, that's me. So you got 3 coaches now. Homa, Mata, and Tom. I'm definitely keeping Tom. Now you gotta get rid of one of these 2 guys. I'll put Tom back as head coach, in my opinion. That I know the team wasn't the cleanest under him, but they still won worlds. They found a way to adjust. Coma, if it's up to him for all the decisions, he's making way too many. He's making way too many irrational decisions. Where I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What are you
also,
doing?
It's not even just about the player decisions. Drafting has been. I mean, drafting.
There's a lot of motherfucking named league. Holy shit!
There's drafting decisions, and then what T1 did was that they panicked. For some reason, they could have had Zeus. They didn't get Zeus because of their own actual decision making. Then they were like, you know what? We're gonna grab Doran, and then they don't even utilize Doran in the way that he's supposed. Doran's not a carry, guys. We've seen these games. Playing carries for this guy's a negative. You have fearless draft. You could just put him on tanks. You know how many tanks are in league? You can play tanks. You told Doran this. You are a tank player. We don't value your opinion as a carry player, and that's it. You are this for us. You do what we say in lane, and that's it. We tell you when to teleport. That's it. Doran is sitting here playing carries like Gwen, Cassante. He makes Mbessa look good. He makes Mbessa look balanced and not like broken as fuck.
Yeah.
This man's playing Yorick. Yorick, you would have to play Yorick as a carry champion. Yorick is not a weak side top laner. When Doran has Jace, that's not cinema. That's just bad. You know?
Oh no, it's cinema. It's like no way cinema. It's like, oh shit, all right, cool, damn. Like, you just waste your money.
You play Jace, you know you're getting that shit ran the fuck down. Owner, I can't even really fault Owner. I think Owner is playing very well. I think he's playing like one of the best junglers right now. Faker has games where he just, I don't know, like he's not really having like a bad split. He's had a few bad series, but I wouldn't say overall he looks really bad. But if you're in T1, it's like, well, Zeka's gonna have his number, Chovy's gonna have it. For the other guy, oh my goodness, Showmaker's gonna have it, and like Faker can fight all of them evenly, but it's not gonna be the big difference maker like it used to be. And the bot lane situation, like, what is their bot lane situation? So if Gumayusi just dies a few times in lane, he gets subbed out, then they play Smash. Then we hear stories like, okay, well, Smash was just randomly brought in, and they just had to start screaming with him. Gumayusi says on stream that he's not been screaming with the team, but then we hear stories that he has been screaming with the team. Like, what is this situation going on with this org right now? It's just so much there. What do you think, man? It's so much. Every week we're hearing something different. Remember the rumor that we heard that basically if the coaches don't make MSI or like top 2, there was a rumor that they would kind of like get fired or whatever.
Yeah.
I could see it. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of hope they don't. Only
if they, that's what they're hoping. Honestly, if they actually don't do well this split, I'm not saying the split will matter in the grand scheme of things as much as like a summer split win or a world's win, but it's gone to a really bad point. Like even at their worst, they should never be really dropping serious to that team. Guys, BFAK is not good.
No. Phoenix is good, but we shouldn't be losing the way we are. It's not even close. They lost 12-3. Nothing they did in game 3 was even relatively close. Phoenix is decent. That Diablo guy, whatever,
Phoenix is
they're really good.
Nongshim is frauds. I'm sticking by that.
Nongshim is frauds. We shouldn't be losing to a team when we're able to draft better. We're able, like, everything they did in that series. Everything they did in that series is people are not clicking on what we should draft, how we should draft. Like, none of it's clicking. None of it is clicking in a way.
Synergy with the players too. It feels like there's no synergy on the team anymore. It
Because
feels like they're just kind of
swapping out players.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's like when someone told me this, what you should do when you play decks, do not swap out your decks. Like just keep your deck. You like the way like if you're gonna play a deck, just like just play the same deck. Learn how to adapt with it. It's the same thing. When you keep swapping out like comps and all that, it's like holy shit, you can't get better when you keep swapping out comps in a sense. Like because like they use like the thing about they use is only signed for this year. There's a good chance they might be back on T1 next year.
Very good chance. Yeah.
Because
that's how we know the contract rumors are true, because he's only signed to Homolife for just this year.
All of them are only signed for this year.
So they're all in. They're like, we either basically win Worlds or win most of the internationals, or we're just gonna
win
blow it
MSI,
up.
win World, or all y'all gone. Like because Delay came here in 2023. The two longest players is Zeka and Viper. They've been there since 2022. They came here in November 2022, right after they won. Well, both of them were on DRX, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Viper. No, Zeka was on DRX.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Viper wasn't on DRX. It was
was on. Oh my god, he was. I think it was on Homolife. He was on EDG at the time. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Either EDG or he was on Homolife. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. EDG. He was on EDG. No.
Yep.
EDG.
Yeah, because Viper came to Homolife in 2023.
Yeah, because Zeka was on DRX, and then he came in 2022, and he came in November 2022. They joined this past November. Peanut came at the end of 2023. Same thing with Delight, and then all of them are signed for 2025. Like none, because if you look at T1's contract. The only player that's signed through 2020, there's only two players signed through past 2025. You want to guess those two players are?
Two players. Faker?
Nope. Faker's not signed. He signed for only this year.
Owner is
one.
And Gumayusi?
Karen. Nope. Gumayusi is only signed for this year.
Yeah, because Carrie, I remember Carrie has got the potential military service thing coming up, or they're going to have to maybe get that waived. If he goes into military service, now it looks even dire for them. He's like one of the few players that is still making their team actually good.
Yeah,
if he's not there, oh my god.
Carrier signed for 2026, as well as owner. Doran was
we know Doran's gone this year. He was
a temp. He was a temp. He came here. Faker gives 1 year contracts because he's part owner. That's me.
He's just going to be renegotiating it for more money. That's all he does.
Or it's going to be less money as a player, more money as a part owner, more percentage. Think about it. You take less money to give more money to your player. Guess what? This might have been part of the plan too. Let they use gold for a year because you don't have enough money. You don't have enough years for the contract. See what we could do is Guma and Smash. If Smash is well enough, because let Guma go.
Because remember,
think about it. T1 might have been playing 5D chess. Let they use go for a year. See how something happens. We signed Doran. We know Doran's a 1 year. That was 1 year. We're gonna
because that was never in question that Doran would be a 1 year player.
Fake takes less money as a player. He takes more money as an part owner. He gets more capital. He doesn't count against the Bucks. That's mean they have more money. Think about it. They bring Davis back. They give Davis that extra year he wanted. If he decides to come back, they give him the extra year or two he wanted. They can re-sign or they can now choose between Guma, Smash, whichever one they feel like is better long term. They sign them. Both of them are only signed for 2025. That's mean one of them's not coming back. And I think it comes down to whoever's if Tom is the coach at the end of the year, I think Guma stays Smash leaves. If it's Coma that's still the head coach, Guma's going Smash stays. one of them is not going to be with the team next year. Like, owner and Carrot are going to be here for the long term.
Faker's, he's been here on T1 for so long, I imagine he's going to be here forever.
Yeah, but the thing is, due to the part owner, what they're going to do is they're going to give him less money as a player. What you do is you spread it out long, because you're a part owner. You can actually make your Because
that's the thing about Faker at this point. He's not playing for money. He's a multi-millionaire.
You can just give Faker the minimum and then just give him more percentage. Like, if you want to give him like 25% of the company, boom, all right, cool.
Because the thing I wanted to bring up was because T1, even though T1 has the biggest fan base, they've won the most internationals and won the most worlds with Faker.
Of course,
they have the K-pop thing going off.
Of course it is.
Why should T1 ever be in a position to take money from the Saudi government? I mean,
you gotta realize that money goes into other things besides the T1 League of Legends. You gotta realize.
Because that's what I was gonna bring up. Like, if T1 is not profitable with the biggest fan base and the biggest org in the world, then you can't make this work as a business. You know?
This is what you do. You gotta realize. Most companies don't give a shit. Most companies are going to take the money because you got to realize they're not thinking about it. Like the individuals might not want to do it, but if a corporate decision is we're going to take the money, that's a company's decision. That's not an individual decision. You got to look at Joe Mars. Joe Mars is like, whatever. If that gives me another $1.5, $2 million to work with, I can flex that, put that into more contracts, or not more player contracts, more contracts to I could probably start a new team for this new game or something. It's like you get more capital, you get more equity, you can pay out whatever people you need to pay. They're like a lot of times you're like, it's like I would never want to, it's like the only people that can actually say I would not take money from the Saudis or individual casters and people who are independent. That's why Travis Gafford could be like, I'm not going to do it. All right, cool. Because you're not tied to anybody. You don't have any stake.
Yeah.
You don't have anyone to answer to. That's me. You can be like, all right, cool. But now you got to stay on that stance. You can't be like, 2 years later, I'm taking money now.
Because if you're a freelance caster, like the ones that are not working for Riot Games right now, you're in this position where like either you take the money, sell your soul, or you could not take the money. But if you're an org and you're an esport,
it's not even thinking about selling your soul. I mean, unless you think of it as selling your soul, because you gotta realize.
But what I was gonna bring up was like the esport teams that are gonna be in the esports World Cup. Like we know esport teams don't make money. I mean, some of the biggest orgs with the biggest fan bases with the most viewership in the game don't make money. So it makes sense. I understand why they have to take the money. They're doing it from a complete business point of view. And I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of these owners don't care about that stuff that you guys are thinking about. They just don't. They say they do, they don't, because if they did individually, they wouldn't take it.
Individually, they might, but as a company, you got to think of it from a company standpoint. I need money.
These players got to get paid, and I need my bills paid. That's
like
it.
I might not want to, but as a company, that's why when people say like I'm a businessman and I'm a businessman, like there's
the thing, I'm a businessman first, then I'm a person. Yeah.
And it's like I can be like I ain't fucking with that, but if I have to go because of the job, I'm like, right, whatever. It's like, or if you lose that job, now you gotta find a new job, and you're fucked. Now you're starting from square one. That's one of those things where, like when you own a company, you're looking at it like, okay, how much money do I need to put in, and how much am I getting back? If I'm getting back enough, I'm like, all right, cool. It's like, and if you feel you're the best team in that, thing to win it, you get more money. And of course, the money just went back. All the Korean teams just took all the money last year. It was just like, MSI, Genji, nope, we'll take that check. World Cup, we'll take that check. T1 Worlds, one of the most highest rated games, T1 versus Genji.
I broke the viewership records. Yeah, that's the highest viewed best of series. That's crazy.
Think about it. There's more FlyQuest fans because of the FlyQuest Gen G series. There's more Gen G fans because of Gen G, that
rivaling T1 in the whole back-to-back finals and everything.
And there's more BLG and T1 fans, of course, for their finals because it's like, oh, this is much better than 2023. Yeah, no shit. Weibo luckily got into the finals, and it's like, oh, we're not supposed to be here. It's like,
and we called it. Weibo are never going to play that good ever again.
Nope. Got like, and I tell people, it was like, what was the defining moment? The 3v1 versus Zayu, and Zayu killed all three of them. That was the moment I knew.
That's the crazy part, right? T1 saw that. T1 saw Zayus do that, and they were like, you know what? We just don't need this guy on our roster. It's like, what are you thinking? What went through your brain with this decision? What's wrong with you?
Because I'm looking at the contract. I'm like, okay, they're playing the long game. Take this year off. Like, fuck a 3-peat. Like, a 3-peat is going to be tough. If you think about it, because
if they do end up 3-peating, it wasn't because they made the best decisions to do it. That had to be because they played very well at that event and just got hot at the right minute.
Yeah, they played well. It was like, and the thing is too, it's like they got hot the more he played. It's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be an LCK team winning this year. I'm looking at the LPL team. No offense. All these teams look like dog shit. No offense.
BLG, their date. Ooh, God, rough.
That one jungle swap is fucking them right now. It's just fucking them.
Also, what did Jun do to deserve being replaced? I'll never understand because he played that at one MSI against Canyon, one of the other best junglers ever. But is that our metric? Like, if you lose to someone that is just the best at playing the position, that means you must.
Canyon was. Canyon just made.
It's so disrespectful too. Like they played Wei and the Swiss stage. They were looking really sus, and they put Jun in. It looked better, and people were like, but it wasn't just because they put Jun in look better. That's not true. They literally put him in, and he looked better because he's just the better fit for the team. That's it.
Yeah.
He's the better fit for them, and we literally saw the immediate impact that it had on BLG. And people said, but Wei played better in the summer split in the regular season and in playoffs. I mean, it didn't translate to Worlds when people say Worlds is what matters.
And guess what's not translating now? They out here losing.
Also, let's just talk. That could have just been a honeymoon phase. Every team has honeymoon phases. That could have just been a honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
It sure wasn't a long-term thing. Like, God, that right there, trading Jun for Wei is
plus also the meta was more beneficial for Wei. The issue now the meta is more beneficial for Jun. And that's the sad part.
Like, JDG went from Kanavi's JDG. Right. And JDG got rid of CV Max. They announced that CV Max is going to be gone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they announced it on Easter that CV Max is gone. I don't know how bad it must have been for JG. I watched a few of their games. I have to watch a bit more. Yeah. But they were like, CV Max is gone. So basically, let's bring it right here. This is the last one we'll cover just a tiny little bit because I go watch some of these NBA games. Yeah. Why are they soaking wet while playing? Nobody knows. Well, the only thing soaking wet is Lennon's vagina after I was done destroying it.
Right now, like, number one team, and what the fuck are these groups? Groups Ascend, Group Nirvana, what the? Okay. Top Esports is the number one team, followed by Anyone's Legend. I don't know what the fuck. But like you said, as long as Tarzan is on that team.
Tarzan regular season, it's that meme of like regular season, buff, finals, like a small dude.
Yeah, it's like SpongeBob with the muscles, and then
that one. Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. Now I know if I see Tarzan in the finals, just pick out the team.
I'm picking the other team every time.
Jesus.
Every time.
Yo, I was like, nah. Anyone looks good, and then they lose
lost
4
every
games.
finals he's ever played. I was like, I'm not falling for this again.
Is this
I fell for it.
Jerry West? Jerry West.
Every finals he's ever played and he's lost.
Jerry West was 0-7 in finals before he won his first one against the Knicks in 72.
Okay, so you're telling me he'll eventually win one of them.
He'll win one, and he'll be like 1-9 in finals.
Even that doesn't make his record better.
That's nasty work. God damn.
Also, MSI is going to be in Canada. Oh God, that's not going to be good for the NA team. Oh God, you guys don't.
Where Canada? If it's Toronto,
I think it's in Toronto or Vancouver.
Oh, okay. If it's Toronto, I could go. If it's Vancouver, I'm not flying to Vancouver.
Well, let me see.
Vancouver's way too fucking far. If it's Montreal, forget about it. If it's Montreal,
it's gonna be held in Vancouver.
No, never mind. Fuck, it's Vancouver.
If you're saying if it was Toronto, you would have win? Oh shit!
Yeah, Toronto and Montreal. They're right. Like Montreal, I could go by Greyhound, and you just need your passport.
Yeah, they haven't had a finals in Montreal since 2017. This is the first time it's been back in Canada for a while.
Yeah, honestly. Like if you go by Greyhound to Montreal, that's the only Greyhound that actually goes over the border, because Montreal's like within like 30 minutes outside of like Toronto's like an hour. Like if you was across the border, like to go to like Toronto's like another hour and 15 minutes after the border crosses, like 2 hours. Like Montreal's like 45 minutes.
Who do you guys got for the LTA games to round up this position phase?
Fly, C9.
All the top 4 teams.
TL. The biggest upset I can see is Shopify wakes up against 100. I don't see it happening. I think they can, but I don't think they will. And Lions, I can see them upsetting Cloud9, but then again, I can see Cloud9 just putting no foot in their ass.
If DSG managed to pull off an upset against Team Liquid, APA, you need to be
APA and UMT need to be gone immediately. Just both of them. At least one of them. One of them does not need to be on the team in the summertime, in my opinion. If Team Liquid does not make MSI, one of them needs to be gone. I'm calling it.
Oh, some of these teams, you can tell these teams are getting completely dismantled when the offseason comes up later on after Worlds is over and we know the Worlds winner and we're in the offseason. If you guys haven't seen a lot of these teams' content, there's some mad tension going on right now. Some of these teams, all this shit's getting blown up. The moment you don't win a split or whatever, roster getting completely dismantled.
Cloud9 100 seeds are making the best content. Team Liquid is 50-50. Their content is like
It could be yeah.
Cloud9 is making some great content. They were making some mid content last year. They was just in the shitter. It was like now they like black.
I wonder what DSG's content is, given the fact that they keep losing. Do you even have a YouTube channel?
It's mostly just Toast being stressful as hell. It's just Toast. Toast just needs to let the team get relegated and then sell it. Like Toast said he ain't making no money. Like Toast, just
didn't he say he was out like $1 million, whatever?
1.5 million. It was like 1.5 million just to start the team.
I don't think they have one.
Nah.
Nope.
Nah.
Good.
It's just Toast. It's just Toast. It's disguise.
Yeah, you're right. It's just Toast. Yeah, it's just disguise.
It's Toast is okay. It's Toast is it's the League of Legends channel, but it's just mostly is you get voice comms and then you get Toast. And this is
didn't he have a Valorant roster he was doing?
Blew that shit up.
Yeah, where he had a Valorant roster. I remember that. And then he was like, I'm just going to be a League of Legends owner. I was like, all right.
No, the Valorant one, that was a lot more money.
The last video they uploaded was 3 weeks ago, what it's like to play for Disguised in China.
But honestly, the Valorant scene is kind of taking a hit too. Like, the views are there, but the issue is that it's just too predictable. Everyone knows it's going to be either Sentinels from the West, and DSG is the top team in the East, right?
They're very good at Valorant. Yeah.
Oh, very good at it. They're better at Valorant than League of Legends.
Don't tell me that. That breaks my soul. That breaks my heart.
No, you gotta realize because T1 is absolute mid.
This is how you know T1's going through some mad drama. Look, this is their docu-series. They haven't made a new episode in Trophy Room in 3 weeks.
Yep.
You know that cameraman was told delete all footage. That footage will never see this footage ever again.
It's the same thing with G2 when G2 lost to K Corp. There was no voice com, no nothing. That motherfucker went black until the next season. They was like, nope.
They're like vacation.
Yep. 3-0.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because look at their trophy room episodes get on average 130,000 views.
That's more views than all the goddamn LTA teams combined.
They haven't uploaded a VoiceCom video since they beat Nongshim in the LCK Cup a while ago.
Yep. Yeah,
they're going through
after
some
they lost
roster.
the Hound, like they was like, nope, scrub that.
Yeah,
scrub it.
We don't need to see Faker yelling at Doran for how bad he was playing. Just
Doran and was it Guma?
Yeah. No, they play with Smash that time.
Oh, Smash.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was his first playoff best of series. Yeah.
Doran would get his ass chewed. Out. Oh my!
They thought the footage was so bad we didn't deserve seeing him get chewed out that bad. Remember, they gave that man a collie in Game 5, and he sprinted that shit to the ground. He was like, "If we can't move on, if I can't move on, no one can."
And it was like Faker had the same look, like it was like Faker was looking at Dora like when it was Jensen looking at Armel when Jensen was on Dignitas, and he's like, I gotta play with this shit ass motherfucker. If people don't understand, no, Jensen wanted to kill Armel after one game. Jensen was stressed out. Like that was Jensen should have retired after 2024. He should have retired once he got benched from FlyQuest. He should have just retired because there's at that he has nothing else to give. No offense. Like Jensen, like to me, Jensen's last good season was on Cloud9 in 2022.
Yeah, if you can watch this in subtitles, this last episode of Trophy Room was when they lost to Hanwha Life. This is when they had Smash.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and watch it, and because I didn't watch this one, I watched a little bit of the other ones. I'm gonna try and see if I can maybe guess the vibes of the team. And this is usually like a good measure of that.
I thought this because the dude David he put it in the Discord. And I saw it.
If they haven't made a new episode in the series in this long, this team is going through some mad problems. That point, they don't even want to show you the footage. They just because they're under so much scrutiny from the coaching staff to Joe Marsh to the play of the team, the level of the team.
Owner, the coaches, and Faker are not on the same team or on the same page. Owner wants Guma. Como
wants Smash, which is weird.
Tom might be the only one that wants Guma, and the other two want a Smash. Faker's like, why the fuck we got Doran? Like Faker in his head might be like, I gotta play this year with Doran.
What's crazy is that if he ever finds out that they could have had Zeus, oh my god, his brain might explode.
That's why Faker is only signs through this year. He's gonna make it where his contract is worth like $1. Give Zeus the bag. Find a way to get Kara not to go to the military. And then this one lady said, "Oh my god, Kara's too adorable to go into the military." I can't see him on the front line. I was like, okay, all right, you little creepy ass lady out there.
Pokimane, nothing worse than Pokimane fucking moaning into the mic. I had a clip of that where she was moaning into the damn mic.
Oh my god, yeah. Pokey needs to moan after I had nut in her, but Pokey's a wild motherfucker.
Hold on, this is real? I don't know if this is real.
What?
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second here. I don't know if this is real for T1, but give me 1 sec. I'm gonna bring it up on Twitter really quickly. 1 sec, everyone. Massive T1 drama. This was from April 18th, so about a few days ago, actually.
Yep.
There was drama backstage before Game 3 in the T1 camp as Smash was heard mocking Gumayusi. See, he says, and I quote, "I can't int much better than Gumayusi." Damn. Fuck. Guma was offended by this and immediately rose up and started arguing with Smash. The matter got so out of hand that it almost came to blows. It, however, was quickly resolved when T1 Doran entered the room and gave both ADCs a stern look. They both sat down in silence with their heads down, knowing that the 5-time world champion had returned to. This has to be. Hold on, this can't be real. This is satire. Oh, this is a joke, but okay, that might have been a joke, but
yeah, this is probably a joke. Part of it might there might be some truth in it.
There might be some truth to some with it, yeah.
Like Smash might Because Smash is only 18. Smash might have shitted on Guma. Guma said,
I mean, we know how stressful it is to play for Team One. Remember last year, Faker was banging his head when he couldn't beat Genji. Remember, this was at the point where
every time there was
what?
Yeah, because every time he was getting close to figuring him out, they always had them, like Genji always had the motherfucking trap card. It was like, yeah, the fuck, nigga, motherfucking plays Harvey Feather Dust to finally think he figured them out. Nope, Genji playing motherfucking hand traps. You're like, God,
like he was so angry. And that's unconventional. He's never did that ever. He's never actually did any of that stuff. He's got emotional.
You know why? Because people are getting the air like, man, you haven't beat Genji in like 2 years, and Faker just like shut the fuck up. Like Faker's probably saying in the Korean.
And he also banged his head because he had every agency to carry the game, and he misplayed a few of the team fights, and he cost them the game, and he knew it was on him was the reason why they ended up losing the game. He was like, man, fuck this, I'm out. And Guma Yusi was the one that consoled him and said, hey, man, it's okay. We can do this. They ended up losing anyway. It was like, hey, we can still do this, right? And then Faker was like, hey, but they did get the last laugh at Genji because they did beat them in the semis. And I told Chaz, hey, Genji, the church is still open. And Chaz's like, nope, that church is closed. I'm like, damn, you're right. That church is closed for the year. It's done. Got to go next year. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, they haven't posted. Oh, my God. The damn. Oh, my God. If you guys can see the tweets right now from T1, this is lots of we'll cover. So T1 tweeted they lost to Fear X 2-1. What the fuck was that draft? Get the fuck out, Coma and Tom FFs. You want to Gumayusi? There you go. Just imagine the hate Smash would have gotten if he had played a game like that. Just let the coaches do their job and enjoy the show. I don't know why I'm seeing this ad. The fuck's this ad here for? Fuck you, ad. Eat my pussy. No scrims is not the issue. Neither are the players. It was draft diff. You're running Jinx, Lulu into Zeri, Alistar. What are you going to do against a hex flashing Alistar when Zeri and Viego are there too? Also, Guma's ADC pool got pent so easily. Kaisa and Zeri were up if Smash played. Yeah, because Gumayusi not very good at playing Zeri or Kaisa. That's been always a weakness of his. His biggest thing is he likes to play Jinx and Caitlyn. So don't blame Gumayusi and say it's because of form. Guma wasn't allowed to scrim with his teammates. Today in Game 3, Guma was allowed to play with the team. It's all the coaching staff's fault. Take the blame, coaching staff. Oh my God. Coma drafting has been masterclass unlucky with Doran having a horrible split and the ADC issue is screwing carry and owners play. Faker, always the only consistent player. Yeah, because the thing is, it's even worse with a bot lane because Carrier has to develop synergy with a bot laner because that's the only lane with 2 lanes. And he's constantly swapping with them. Yeah. How can you make something work with that? It's like if I had a wife one day and I had another girl. Well, that's a little different. That's a little more better. But just pretty pick up a league. It can't really happen that way. But we're going to end up heading out of here. I got to get some stuff done. But we will have an episode of the Cloud9 podcast coming up this week. This Thursday, we got to go over the LEC. Oh, my goodness. There's some stuff happening in this league that you guys are going to be very, very shocked at. But we will be covering more of the NBA 2025 playoff games. Actually, I got to go finish watching a lot of them too. But are you going to be uploading any Pokemon market watches this week? Or are you guys going to be just
probably not a market watch? Just me talk about me talk about the top 8 of Atlanta and Monterey. I needed to wait. I decided to take that market watch. Right now, I need to do I need to restructure my market watches. And I was like, because the prices are too volatile, I'm realizing that I was like, I need to stick with certain cards, break it down, and talk about sets as a whole. It's either still just individual cards, or unless I talk about play stamps. I gotta wait for the full list or the top 8 list to come out before I talk about Atlanta and Monterey and why Badoo might be a problem. Why you have to tech for Badoo, there's one other card that's coming out. I'm trying to do more software content. I realize people rather wait for me to put out a video that's worth watching and me put up a video where I'm half tired. I'm like, I think that makes sense. Because if I'm half tired, it's you're probably going to turn out of the video because I don't have passion for it. I was like, you know what? Okay, let me try to put a video out at least once not a month, but if I could get a market watch out and then get a video out within that week, it's like market watch is one of those things where I can record them and put them out the next day. While when I do a something about deck list, I need to take a day or two and research it. That's why I'm just trying to put out better content. Like I rather have you wait a month and then you see me put out content. It's like, and I realized about like a lot of Pokemon content, like people who are more well known, they can put out more content. And the thing is, to a lot of people are just like, even the market watches for like Pokemon, like they get views and we shit on them. That's why I'm trying to do my research about Death and Rivals before I put a actual market watch out for that set. But overall, yeah, no, I'm getting a lot of good feedback from people who watch the videos in the discourse, in the Facebook channel. They said quality over quantity. It's like they don't want someone to put out so much videos and then it's like, we know you don't give a shit about it, but it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. I was translating all the T1 comments on their Facebook page. Oh my God. That's worse than Twitter. They get, if T1 has a social media manager, I would highly recommend not checking your Facebook page comments at the moment in time.
Oh, yeah.
You might end up with stage 5 depression. Oh, God. But it's always cool being on Facebook, because they do have you can do something on Facebook where you can just watch a bunch of random clips from a lot of shows, like randomly Power Ranger clips are up there, just a lot of fun stuff sometimes. That's why I'm still scroll down that website. But as you guys know, for myself, tomorrow we have the MSK show, and after that, I'll probably end up streaming League or Master Duel. I don't know which one. We'll probably end up streaming, actually, but we'll stream one of them. But we're back this week, and we should be having Cloud9 podcast episodes run Thursdays, basically for the next 2 months straight until I have that 1 week in July where I have to potentially not be here. But that's it. But most of the time we'll be here on Thursday. So this Thursday coming up, we'll cover most of the LEC because there's a lot we have to explain there. Because I've been watching the games, but I haven't had a time to really talk about it on the show because given that we do it on Sunday, there's other stuff to cover as well. There's LCK, there's NBA playoffs and all that shit. So that's pretty much it. Is there any other basketball predictions you want to make before we go through this week before Thursday? As you said Knicks in 4, I think you said. Something like that. So there should be no world where the Lakers lose to the Timberwolves, right? Well, I want the Lakers to hold my beer. So, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Cloud9 podcast. And if you're just, only here on the channel for this show, we will see you guys once again on Thursday around 7:30 p.m. PST. Monday, MSK show, game stream. Tuesday, MSK show, game stream. Game stream. Wednesday, panel show, because Savage Dad is going to be gone for the next 2 weeks, so we won't be having our show for the next 2 weeks. So we will pretty much just have the panel show at that moment in time. Thursday, Cloud9 podcast, MSK show, and then on Friday we have this show as well. So yeah, have a great week, everybody, and I hope you guys had a great weekend. And yeah, the NBA 2025 playoffs have begun, and go watch your team potentially win the trophy as we get further and further and further into the playoffs. It's going to be a long, playoff season, but whoever's team wins, well, we'll see who that will be at the end of the season. And have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you guys later.